FBI Field Report. On January 21, 1953, Rustin was arrested by the police department in Pasadena, California, as a suspected sexual pervert. He was charged with lewd vagrancy and sentenced to 60 days in the county jail.
That was pretty fast news through the pacifist community that Bayard had been arrested in Pasadena. All the other arrests he'd had were on grounds of principle. But this was an arrest where he knew he was wrong. I don't mean morally wrong because it was a sexual encounter. I mean it was stupid to get arrested on the backseat of a car with two guys in a public place, and he knew this.
When I arrived in Montgomery, Dr. King had very limited notions about how nonviolent protests should be carried out. When I first got there, the leadership had Dr. King's home protected day and night by men not only with shotguns, but with pistols.
What do you want?
I'm here to see Dr. King.
Nelson, who is it?
Good evening, Mrs. King. Bayard Rustin.
Bayard Rustin.
Excuse me.
Well, if Bayard Rustin is here, then I guess we've arrived.
Dr. King, I'm gonna be blunt. You're straying from the principles of nonviolence.
In what way?
You're the leader of a nonviolent movement, and yet you have guns in your home and these armed guards outside.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Rustin. Would you risk your family for a tactic?
Nonviolence is not a tactic.
Would you risk your family?
Nonviolence is an ideology.
I have
It's
an
a
obligation
movement, a way
to
of
protect my
life.
family and
It's a
defend my
religion.
home.
Well, the guns don't make me feel any safer.
Bayard was to him like an older brother. Martin Luther King was 25 years old. And he didn't have the history and the experience that Bayard shared with him. Bayard was somebody that could talk with him on his own intellectual level and help him think through the political and social and moral dilemmas that he was facing.
Howe made a speech in which he said to the press that there were immoral elements working in the civil rights movement. That message was clear. It was aimed at Bayard as the immoral element, and Bayard knew that they would bring up the arrest record if he didn't get out.
Adam Clayton Powell didn't want blacks picketing the Democratic Convention. In fact, he went so far as to warn King that if King did not withdraw his support from that demonstration, he would go to the press and say there was a sexual affair going on between me and King. Martin was so terrified by this threat that he decided he would get rid of me.
Over me, and before I'd be a slave.
25, 30 years ago, the barometer of human rights in the United States were black people. That is no longer true. The barometer for judging the character of people in regard to human rights is now those who consider themselves gay, homosexual, lesbian.
I grew up in the aftermath of Dr. Martin Luther King. I joined the New York branch of SCLC the year he died. I was 12 years old. I became the youth director of Operation Breadbasket in New York under Reverend Jackson the 13th. A few years later, because of some differences in the organization, Reverend Jackson left, and therefore I left. And I decided to form my own youth group in New York. And I went to a man who gave me the money to start National Youth Movement named Bayard Rustin. And Bayard Rustin gave me the funds. It started National Youth Movement and kept me going in civil rights. As I got to know Mr. Rustin, I got to know the history of how this ingenious and brilliant organizer and tactician had been with Dr. King as a chief strategist and tactician going back to Montgomery. But because of his being a homosexual, the FBI and others tried to morally blackmail Dr. King into shunning Bayard Rustin. And because of some of the homophobia in the church, try and isolate him. If we allow some latent or hidden bias of our own, inhibit the maximizing of a liberation struggle. Because they could not have attempted this blackmail had they not depended, Keith Boykin, on the homophobia of those that were involved in the movement. If there had not been homophobia, it would not even have been an issue.
Black issues are more important to me in terms of the collective of black people and what happens to us than simply my sexuality. Your talk, your behavior, and your actions are going to be on behalf of the progress of black people.
Meet Cleo Monago, a nationally known behavior, health, and cultural expert, lecturer, author, film producer, and self-identified critical thinker.
My focus is the restoration, health, healing, and mental health restoration in particular of black people.
He's the founder of a number of national organizations, most notably the Amasi Center for Wellness, Education, and Culture, and the Black Men's Exchange, a national group devoted to promoting healthy self and cultural affirmation among same-gender loving men of African descent.
We need to learn to love ourselves in our own image as same-gender loving people and be present in the midst of our own community, because when white folks call themselves lesbian and gay, they're still loving themselves in their own image.
So in efforts to promote self-love, he coined the phrase same-gender loving.
It's not about me as a reference point. It's about creating an option out there for our community to love itself in its own image and use our own culture and experience and background as our frame of reference.
What turns you on about me?
I'm turned on by brothers who are intelligent, who love themselves, where there's a spark between us. Somebody in good shape, somebody healthy.
Only brothers?
Predominantly, it's my preference.
When in bed, is like there like a man and then a woman?
Well, people always ask that, but you asked it more explicitly. It's just like the last question. It was quite explicit to what turns me on. Ain't your business. But no, I mean, you know, same gender loving means just that we're two men who love each other. We are with each other because we're attracted to men.
Greetings, family. My name is Cleo Monago. I'm the founder of the Black Men's Exchange in New York, Harlem, Los Angeles, and Atlanta. That we're here is a clear sign that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was very serious about inclusion. So I'm here to bring the perspective of a black man who's a same-gender loving black man. And these brothers on my side are part of the organization as well, and there's many of us out in the audience. That I'm up here indicates that the minister was very serious about us all coming together finally. I too am often called a black nationalist.
So this New Year's a shout out to the giant called Tyler Perry, a spiritual giant, a magnificent human being, and I pray that this year his art, greatness, will shine even more in healing our people through mass projection of drama through film and plays.
In case you haven't been paying attention,